in a cozy room this time. We just watched, what game was it? England, Germany?
Yeah, England, Germany, and Ukraine and Sweden.
Yeah, we watched that delayed. 2 a.m. was not perfect for me. Driving to your house this morning, left my house at 3:30, 3:40 to get here at 4:40.
The perks of being in the other side of the world.
I know, everyone complains about watching an 8 p.m. game. They have to go home at 11. But yeah, waking up at 2 o'clock isn't... I think that's probably the worst time to watch a game because you don't get to sleep and you don't get to have a morning.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I guess if it's a Friday or Saturday night, it's not too bad. But anything before or after that is not fun.
Can you imagine having like a 2 o'clock game? Like I think the World Cup had a few games like that where it was enjoyable to watch at 2 o'clock, but then you've got the whole Saturday or Sunday to go to, and it's like, how do you even enjoy that?
Unless you're actually at the World Cup and you're not working, and I think that's the only time it's okay. Because yeah, it is to be based in Australia and try and watch these games can be challenging.
100%. I think now with the Olympics coming up, some of the games are going to be at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So even that, I don't know. Like everyone in the US, they get to watch international football in like sort of a late lunch dinner, and I just see them watching it. It's like, yeah, but you don't really get to enjoy the day, the build up. I feel like morning's great as well, like 5 o'clock games, because you get to have breakfast and the day starts.
Yeah, I don't mind the 5 o'clock games because it's sort of, especially for guys that work 9 to 5 jobs, it works pretty well.
9:30 or like even 10 p.m. games are the best. I think EPL when it's like 10 p.m. is the best.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I love that early start, like the start of the season before we've got daylight saving. Oh, sorry, I think when we still have daylight savings for us. It's such a good time difference because it works really well.
The worst part about 10 p.m. games, EPL, is like when you're at friends' houses or relatives' houses, and you're like, I just want to get home, I just want to watch the game, and then you're like, hey, do you have, Jesus, what was that? A possum?
I don't know. That was weird.
Is there someone living in your attic?
Someone's in my roof, I think.
I think someone's in your attic.
Why does this always... That's never happened. I've been here 5 years. It's never happened.
Bro, I think you've got a ghost in your house.
Oh my God, there's someone living in the roof.
Should we name your person in the roof? Anyway, so... so we've watched the games this morning. We are both wearing football jerseys that... teams have been bombed out of the Euros.
Yeah, it's not a good selection by us, I don't think. Well, great kids, by the way. But
thank you. So this is a gift from Chantel and Paul. So they conspired against me and bought me a football jersey. So thank you so much. It's probably the only German jersey I've ever wanted. I've never thought about owning that techno version. I think the one Matthias and I wore.
Yeah.
Actually, did he wear this one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But I think that one was just overworn to the point where I love this one. What about you? What are you wearing?
I've got Sweden's 96 Euro 96 kit.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite
really
designs.
keen to find a Larsen name set for this. So.
Oh yes, name sets. I think name sets are something that I've really been inspired by lately. With my new purchases, I've actually thought about getting the new kits with names.
Yeah. I think it's definitely like from an investment point of view for modern kits, it's great. I think it's going to be something that's worth a lot more. Like we've talked about this a lot, where having a name set on the back can either increase or decrease the value quite dramatically depending on the player. Because you might have a kit like this, for example, right, with the name set of a player you don't know. Does it decrease the value? Probably not. It won't decrease it because of the type of shirt, but and there's like the success that's evolved around that squad too. But if you've got like you said, a Matthaus or a Klinsmann or I'm trying to think of someone, high profile German players that aren't coming to my head straight at the moment, but it would increase the value extremely.
It's funny you say that. I saw a jersey this afternoon. Someone bought a Kagawa Man United one, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who would want a Kagawa one now? Like, he didn't really have a great time at United, but when you think about it as a name set, it's much better than having no name sets.
What is going on?
I think you've got a possum in your house.
I don't know. That's really scary. Anyway.
Anyways, we will continue on. If we die mid-episode, it was nice knowing you all.
It was lovely.
Now, Paul at PFC, as you know, has had the amazing opportunity of doing a pop-up store, which was very successful.
Yeah, it was great fun.
Amazing the fact that a lot of you came out, and I have to say, we have to make another one.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely a possum.
Yeah, I think it is
too. Yeah. Continuing on.
It was heaps of fun, man. I was, for me that was the first experience that we had in person. Like everything else has always been online. Obviously with COVID, that's what started the online store.
Yeah.
So to have a retail version of that was so good. It was so good just to talk to people, man. Like, share experiences, share passions. It was really nice.
It's funny because then we went back into lockdown and it was just a crazy couple of months, and we were looking to plan other ones interstate and stuff. So that's still on the works, but I think Paul got really excited and spent way too much money and bought more kits. And he invited me over this morning to watch the game. And then he's like, "Hey, I've got a new box. Would you like to see some of the kits?" And I thought, why not record an episode and show off some of the nice kits that he has received in this box? And I have to say, I'm looking at the ones in front of me. There's at least 5 that I would just want to buy. But I know, oh, look, you've got a Man City kit. So Ollie had kitted out. You definitely got a kit for you, bud. Hopefully that's the one of the Man City kits you don't have. But how should we do this? You want to explain some of the kits you thought you want to show? Or?
Yeah, let's do it. We may as well go through, like, I guess one by one. We haven't done this. I think the first episode we ever did together was the very first box.
You came to my house.
Yeah, that was the very
first box.
That
That
was
was like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I remember that.
This is good. This is a good progression. We're still doing the same kind of
That
thing.
used to be my kit room is now the baby room. I do miss my kit room because I had football kits on every wall. I was so proud of that wall, but now, of course, my little girl has that room.
I can just imagine your office space now with just kits from here to here. and
Well, the
you
main
working on
question for you is, where's your baby room going to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've got to get a baby first. Don't know where to buy one of
But
those
like,
from.
but like, this is the only spare room that your wife has.
I think we've got it now. We've got a 3rd bedroom, so that's
lucky.
gonna be our baby room.
You're lucky because, mate, this room, it's hard to sacrifice. It's,
Hey, if a second kid comes along, then the challenge is gonna be appear.
Oh, man. All right. Look, you've got
Let's
some
do it.
amazing kits. So what we'll do is, like, maybe you show one kit, I'll hold the mic and talk, or how do you want to do this? Because you need
Yeah,
two
sounds
hands to
good.
hold a kit.
I'll pick them up if you want. And then I know your kit history knowledge is actually pretty deep, so I reckon you'll know a few more things about these kits than I will. I think.
Barely.
We'll, from the first few, I think we will.
I do have this one.
We'll start with this Ripper because I know you like this one. You've got this one.
This one was a great eBay find, but I think this is the Drake Ramberg design as well.
Yep, yeah, Nike Premier.
He did actually. It is a Drake Ramberg because he shared my photo of it.
Yeah. So maybe we have to do another shoot with this one and
Definitely.
get Drake
I
involved.
love this one. The collar
Yeah.
on this one had the overlapping V-neck, and then of course
so
that
cool.
iconic collar that I think a lot of teams Nike had in 2018, like Chelsea and stuff.
Yeah, really cool.
Love everything about.
I love
this one.
that whole V-neck design was really cool. I was so happy they brought that
Got the
back.
Nike Premier badge.
Yeah.
Not Nike Premier, but the actual Nike era. That was just one of my favorite eras.
Yeah, such a cool design though. I think the shirt itself is just really cool. I think they did so well that whole era. Like, there's almost nothing that's bad about it. I don't think I've ever come across any Nike Premier kits that were
No.
boring or lackluster.
I feel like that's when they just died down and just sort of relaxed about the kits. Like I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the Nike stuff, the early 2000s at United.
Yeah.
Like the era that Ronaldo was there. Some of them
Yeah.
was just so fucking boring.
The total 90 era. It's funny, right? Because it's kind of iconic to a degree as well. I guess because it was during a World Cup and it made things a little bit more interesting. Moving on.
Wow.
Yeah, United
This one
training
here,
gear.
I can't really talk about it. I'm just going to hold and show everyone.
I think it's early 90s. I'm not exactly sure of the year. I think it was, I want to say 94, but I'm not 100% certain. But it is very cool. I think I saw some photos of Roy Keane and Paul Ince training in gear like that. Here, I'll put it on this side.
Got to fold all these later.
We're going to have to refold them all. Yes,
Dude, there's so many. We're going to go halfway.
There's so many. I think we'll just pick and choose from the ones we can see from the top. I think you'll like this one. I know you did a recent shoot with Colt with something like this, which was
Yes,
a little bit similar.
This is the Gus's one, not the Abba Sports.
Yeah, correct. This is a little bit different.
This has actually got Blanco on the back.
Yeah, so it's got a crazy name set, which I did a bit of research actually, and he fluctuated numbers. You just breaking your mic. He fluctuated numbers from like 11 to 10 for the Mexican team a few times, and I think they wore this when they won the Copa America against, I can't remember. I want to say Brazil, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. And I think he actually scored as well.
This is amazing, man. Good. That's a really good find.
Yeah,
It's a really
very
good
cool, very cool
condition
kit.
as well.
I love that Azteca design that they rolled with for that period of time.
Going from one side of Netherlands to another side. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Umbro on this one. This is definitely something Rick FC would have. The badge is the more modernized version. There are rumors that the home kit for Ajax, unlike the Ultra Football League, that the old badge is coming back.
Which league? Football headlines?
Yeah, footy headlines. Yeah. But this kit here is fabulous. I think
Yeah.
everyone's collecting Kappa kits now before the Kappa on the side, but
Yeah.
Umbro has some amazing ones.
Yeah, oh mate, I think even Umbro training gear from the early 90s was something that was really cool. And this next one, I'm kind of shattered that Scotland's out for one.
Oh yeah.
But I think it would have been great to have this in stock like 2 weeks back because, that Tartan army, mate,
This is insane.
that is crazy, right? Like that, this era, these years, like I know we've gone through a lot of Umbro kits already, but man, these were just so nice.
How's this a full jersey? Honestly, I forgot about this one. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I
crazy.
like that a lot.
I'll let you pick the next one, mate. You can just grab one from the bunch. You know, I know we won't go about this one because I know you don't like that era, so we'll skip that one out.
Which one's that?
That was the Netherlands 2004.
What?
It's a total 90. It's essentially high vis. So many kits to go through. This one's pretty topical at the time, I think. It's Denmark's. Oh, what year? I've gone blank. I want to say 90s. I'm going to tell you now. Anyway, I think Denmark's actually done really well in this tournament. I think that whole Christian Eriksen saga, you know, I guess it's dramatic, but the whole thing, them being able to bounce back from.
What is that? Like the embossed sort of logo in the middle.
Yeah, beautiful design. I can give you the year now. I'm going to find it. Probably 98 to 2000. I don't know why I thought it was a lot earlier than that. I guess it just does look really like that. But I think they did leave Hummel temporarily at some point, and I think it was just before this. And I have a feeling that this was when they returned, or thereabouts. There's a timeline where they. Yeah,
it does look like a bit of a throwback kit type of thing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how Hummel and Denmark have this amazing relationship.
Yeah, it is. It's great. Like, it's nice. You know, I think it's really important that clubs, countries, and manufacturers have like
Adidas
a tie. Yeah, it's pretty important. On to the next one.
Where should you choose? There's so many.
All right, let's go. We'll dig this one out because I can see it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one. Oh my.
I think this one's been pretty anticipated. I did link this online recently.
This one is exciting.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting.
Wow.
LA Galaxy. This thing is heavy.
Wow.
Like feeling this is heavy. I think this is it an XL or a 2XL? I can't tell. But it's got, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Kalishman? On the back as well. Like, this is a ripper.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, feel it, man. Pick it up. It's
heavy.
Like,
this honestly feels like a knight shining armor type of shield.
Yeah.
This is not player spec, is it?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, but
it is.
I haven't looked into it.
No, it definitely is. Look at the.
This thing is dense. This is a very heavy kit.
I've never felt Nike material like this. That player, that the name set on the numbers.
Yeah, it's so thick. It's almost like hockey.
It's almost like a baseball jersey. I forget how amazing the Galaxy logo was back then.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool shirt, man. I'm very happy to have this one. I think this is probably my first MLS.
I don't think you should sell that one.
I don't know. We'll have to try.
That one is definitely one that you need to keep in your collection, mate. You're going to regret this one.
Yeah, I probably will regret selling it if I do.
I
know when I did like it, I did get a few messages asking about when it's going to go online. So we'll see how we go. We'll see if I can bring myself to part with it.
That's a hard one to get.
It's going to be a challenge.
I did see this one. All right, mate. This one here is insane.
You gotta love it, and I think we keep coming back to Umbro. I've got a lot of Umbro in this box now that we talk about it. But the Umbro Inter era was just so cool. The fact the combination of players like Zamorano, Ronaldo, that whole I think it was a UEFA Cup. I don't think it was Champions League. That era was just incredible players.
I think Umbro is just the staple of football kits. I think from the English kits to United, Inter. I think Umbro just had a great time. It's almost like what we see in front of us. Like, you remember Puma for certain clubs. You remember Lotto for certain clubs. You remember Nike and Adidas for certain clubs.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure if this is Adidas, but this is definitely one that reminds me. Please be Adidas, otherwise this joke would not work. Not the joke, but the when I think of Adidas, I think of Marseille.
Yeah. Just because of that era. That's so iconic too. And this was early days as well. Early days, I know it was early 2000s, but Didier Drogba, that kind of successful kind of period for the club too, which was interesting.
Their reign with Puma right now is pretty good.
Yeah, they're smashing it. Good colorway, I think. It just works well. And this is the thing with kits, right? Some kits are more famous than others purely because the colorway works great.
I still can't believe that Man City is with Puma now as well. Their Nike era was pretty average. I wasn't a huge fan, but I always forget that they were with Lecoq as well.
Yeah, Lecoq was a good time there. They they were with Umbro for a short period of time too, which was
Umbro kits were probably the best ones. Was it the one with Brother?
The Prince of Brother. Kappa. There's a Kappa era.
Kappa was a good one for them.
Yeah. I reckon the next one is an absolute cracker. This has got to be one of my favorites from this box.
Oh wow.
FC Porto. I think it's 94.
I forgot they had Adidas.
It looks very similar to the early 1992 Adidas equipment kind of style.
I love that.
Similar to what Marseille used to have. Yeah, so cool. It's very thick.
It's funny. I when I was choosing a team in Portugal, I was like, I'll choose Sporting Lisbon. I kind of like, I love the team for who they are, but when it comes to their kit sense, there's not many kits. There's like not many I can find.
Not that are iconic. I think there's a Figo era.
Yeah, well, I showed you that.
Yeah. There's
But
a
like
few.
their Ronaldo era, it's so hard to get.
Yeah, so hard and so rare. I've
And
seen
a
it
lot of
even.
the Reebok kits are just average.
Yeah, I've seen it in in a few Facebook forums, Facebook groups, football chat type of ones where people are trying to look for kits and find stuff. And there's a few. I see a few, especially Ronaldo ones popping up now, and I think they're probably because these manufacturers that are doing fake reproductions have seen that obviously he's getting towards the end of his career. People are wanting to try and jump on these, and
grabs.
so I think it's definitely something people need to be careful of because it's
That's true.
It's very risky.
It's funny because now Nike is taking over next year, and I'm hoping there's some amazing Sporting Lisbon kits to come out.
Hopefully,
there are rumors that they're changing their badge for a new sort of version of the future. They're bringing back a throwback version.
Nice.
So I think there's good things for Sporting Lisbon to come.
So not too dissimilar to like the modern or the rebrands that like a lot of these Italian clubs have done recently.
A lot different. It's almost they've just gone for the full line.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's on Footy Headlines if anyone wants to check. They always have information. I don't know how. It's either Rebel Sports leaks it or Ultra Football.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mick. I know you didn't mean that, but like, yeah, they jump on everything. Don't like Real Madrid. They're pretty boring.
We'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
I think that does have a rival name on it, but we'll follow that one up later.
Who cares? Look, I'm a Boca supporter, but this is a nice kit too. I just love that sponsorship. I'm gonna get you to try and butcher that.
Yeah, to take it off and put it on a Boca kit.
I
don't know if I can
pronounce
bring
the
myself.
sponsorship?
Quilmes.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah. It's a great beer too, actually. I actually like this. I think this is. I want to say it's Hernan Crespo era. I think it was before he moved to Italy.
That's true.
There or thereabouts. It's very close. I think. I'm not sure. I think it's like late 90s.
One thing I recently watched that everyone should check out. We had a little lockdown recently, so I got to enjoy some. I still haven't watched the Baggio thing. We have some thoughts of that.
Yeah.
We should have probably watched that and reviewed that.
I have watched it.
I know, but we should have watched it and then reviewed it.
Yeah, we probably should have.
Yeah, you get me now?
Yeah. Definitely.
But I watched the Boca River sort of Copper. I'm sorry, Copper.
The rivalry.
That Ellie Mengen did for Copper. A lovely, lovely documentary on the sort of game day experience and how I think football passion can go overboard sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kid there is amazing.
I did watch I watched a Les Murray.
Oh yeah.
Documentary a while ago. I think it was based on football rivalries, and he does talk about the Boca and River rivalry. And it was it is next level. And I know hearing it in Les Murray's voice as well makes it a whole other level of amazing. But it is definitely something that it's one of those rivalries that it's almost uncomparable.
So many kids.
There's heaps. There's a lot to go through. I reckon jump on this one next because this is one of my favorites. I've got a soft spot for Parma.
Yeah, I'm thinking about buying the Buffon Parma kit.
The new one. I think that red. Is it the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I love this era. I think this time at the club was cool. It was when Zola was there. It was
that spray paint sort of blue is my favorite.
So cool, man. Like such a cool design. And Parmalat, obviously iconic for Parma in particular.
They did a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right. There's so many kits.
There's so many, man. Where do you want to go next?
There you go.
All right.
You can open this one.
Done.
Is there a name set on this one?
No, no name set on this one. We've actually got two of these though, which is cool.
This is nice.
This is probably one of my favorite Chelsea shirts purely because of Gianluca Vialli. I just have this like memory of him running through like in the snow, scoring, and then like running towards the corner flag, like in celebration, jumps over this little like board thing. Yeah, iconic, man, iconic. Such a cool kit.
Talking about rebrands of badges and just clubs logos.
Yep.
That why did they change that? That was amazing.
Yeah, see, I wish they didn't change it because I love this one.
The new one's pretty average.
Yeah, look, I don't mind it. I think it's still kind of classic, but it's I just love this. It's very basic, but I did love this on the Umbro kits, like in the early 2000s in particular. Like it's iconic. So, it's synonymous for the success around the club too, especially at that period of time. I think it's
your oil money.
Yeah, well,
rich man money.
Rich man money.
This is a club that's recently redesigned their identity, and now they're going back to the plain stripes.
Yeah.
The new kit, I'm not a huge fan of the 3x3, whatever that sponsor. What was it 2x2? Whatever.
Yeah.
What is it? What's
I don't know what it is, but it's yuck. The blue one.
But Del Piero on the back.
Yes, another ADP
Amazing.
kit, which is great.
Love that, and then you go on that side.
This is good. This is working well.
It's actually working well. I think this is the same material or almost similar material to your LA Galaxy one. It's
these are thick.
But Lotto was just this iconic thing for Palermo.
Yeah.
Love their stuff for Palermo.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Really cool era. Definitely a really interesting time at that club. Actually, I think that that team at Juventus at that time was so strong. I don't I don't know if it actually got much better after that. Like, I know they had obviously a long period of success as Serie A had a drop off, but I think that was probably one of their peak times.
Flight intermission, we had a bit of a possum attack.
We're back.
I think your wife blended it.
Maybe.
But she did say it was a bird, so maybe it's just us. Thinking that we're going to be murdered by something in the sky. The only thing on the right-hand side of us is Totti, and he definitely would murder us.
Yeah, on the pitch for sure.
Talking about Totti, I just realised he played in one team.
Yeah, his entire life.
So his kick collection would be pretty much simple and clean.
It'd be massive because you'd have every kid under the sun. And yeah, he started at Roma when he was, I think, just under 17, so 16 and like something days was I think his senior debut, which is crazy. And then played until mid to late 30s, I think it was.
Haven't seen any of the New Balance kits as of yet.
No, not yet. Not here anyway.
New Balance has been doing amazing. They've got some amazing Porter kits and some others that we've seen.
Yeah.
But I've not seen anything in Roma. I've just realised that. So really excited to see what happens with them.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting year for them because obviously a big transition with manufacturer as well as new coach with Mourinho and potentially a new squad as well.
That's different. Seeing Mourinho back in Serie A.
Yeah.
Talking about Serie A, there's a few kits in front of us. I think we've got about 400 to talk about, but we're going to select a few. Like I said, it'll be on PFC, so if you are after any kits, check it out. These episodes are usually a podcast, so sorry if they're pretty long. I know some people have said in the past that our episode's pretty long. Fortunately, you are watching a podcast episode in a sense, so sit down and enjoy. And if you want to spend some money on football shirts, then that's your own choice.
That's it.
So which one you want to go first? You want to go the one on the right or one on the left?
Yeah, we'll go with the Serie A. May as well keep that on topic. We'll go with the Parma. This is, I think, the 99 to 2002.
Champion. I actually forgot that Champion made shirts for Parma.
Yeah, it was a very cool time.
Yes.
Good year at the club, actually. I think, whether I can't remember how successful they were at this time, but I know just before this era, there was huge success at the club when they had Cannavaro, Thuram, Crespo, Zola, Buffon.
Champion and Converse, the two manufacturers that have had maybe one or two.
Yeah, very, very few.
Shirts.
I think Champion did have a period at this time where they were quite busy in the football scene, but I think, this is definitely one of those more iconic ones.
That's actually a really good episode. I'm going to make brands that have made football shirts. And
like once-offs.
Like once-offs.
Yeah.
I know Converse did with Atlético Nacional, but forgot about Champion. You did mention this one when we were in intermission.
Yeah. I thought this was really cool. I love that Adidas Euro design. Obviously, I'm wearing one right now as well.
Yeah.
But you just remind, Georgie Hadji, or however you pronounce his surname, Huggy or Hadji.
Hadji,
yeah. It just reminds me of him going absolute beast mode and basically carrying a team essentially on his own.
Yeah.
I think it was him and Dan Petrescu from memory. That's the two players I can remember from that squad.
That what's it called? That template was again another iconic template. Similar to this one.
Yeah.
Similar to the one we got after this. I think Adidas again, similar to Umbro, they were well known for their sort of templates of the kits that then were implemented by football clubs and countries. In a sense that they were unique, even though they were same designs, they were unique. I think now more so in our current era, we do see templates a bit more frequently, but it's not as unique. But in saying that, in that Euros that you've got the Swedish and now you've got the Romania and a few other teams had that similar design. That's similar to what Puma has with their training shirts / third shirts.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
When you think about it, like as that probably came out back then. People were like, "Oh, it's so plain. It's got 3 stripes." But now we look at it, it's iconic.
Yeah.
I really banged on about that Puma shirt. I really dislike it. But now seeing how successful some of those teams have been, like the Swiss and Italians, do you think that our minds will change in a couple of years' time?
I think, there's always the fact that a shirt, regardless of design, if it has success attached to it, I think it always becomes more popular later on. And I think we're starting to see that like with the more recent, say like the France Euro shirt from the last Euros, Portugal shirt from the last Euros, France shirt from the last World Cup. I think they will become eventually what we look at now, like say the France 98 shirt, like these German shirts. I think it's just too recent still to be that valuable, but I think they will still hold some value.
It's crazy to think whatever like the shirts today will be like in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know physically some of these shirts will still be, This one here is one of the most annoying sponsors. I remember Mansion.com was my most hated sponsor, but this play in the Premier League I do miss every day.
Yeah, crazy. Like that time at Tottenham was almost like it put them back on the map. I think essentially they were almost redundant for a few years, but once they had Modric, Bale, I think it was Nico Kranjčar.
Yes.
They had a really good squad.
Kranjčar.
I feel like I can't remember actually. No, I think Jermaine Defoe.
Jermaine Defoe. Yeah.
Berbatov even potentially. It was just like so many good players in that squad. I think Jolyon Lescott with that mad hairline. Probably shouldn't judge. Shouldn't talk. But yeah, such a cool era for Tottenham.
We've got one more kid over there, the Adas.
Yeah, so Copa America's obviously on right now.
This is a great another template.
Yeah, I think this was.
Spanish.
I think look that time Adidas just I think Adidas and Nike were just going head to head. You got Nike Premier versus like this Adidas template. I'm not exactly sure what it's called.
Space race with the Russians and the Americans.
Yeah, quite literally. It's pretty funny how that works. But man, they just produced ripper after ripper. And I wonder if we're going to look back at some modern kits now and think something similar of what we're looking at.
Episode, some of the Euro kits this year have been pretty lackluster, but we'll look back at it. I think the Macedonia jersey will be definitely one of the ones that people will talk about because of how they rejected their kit, and then the one they wore was from 2018.
Yeah,
2022.
It'll definitely be something. It'll be something you see on like Cult Stories by Cult Kits in in 20 years time. Like, did you know this happened?
Did you know this shirt was worn? Yeah, I think that's the hardest part about today's kits is that we're going to buy kits and not even think about it, and then in a couple of years' time we're like, oh shit, that's actually rare because a certain youth player came through the ranks. How many people, Chelsea supporters more so, bought kits this year at the start of the season and didn't realise they're going to win the Champions League.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that just skyrockets in value.
They've got like certain players, or like like if you're a team Havertz fan, people were judging him, and now he's one of the more sought out players in a sense. Even though they crashed out this morning, I think next season's kits, it's really hard to decide now what player and what kit will be.
Yeah, you take that chance. Like, with Dortmund and Haaland, I guess is probably a good example. I know it's not his first club, so I guess, potentially a Leipzig shirt might be the...
Yeah, but I think there's too many, produced these days.
Yeah.
For that sort of player to be like, the kit to be like, oh, wow.
Especially when they're so marketable.
Rooney kit at United these days. It's like, there's so many bad.
It's just so common. Yeah, so you almost need to find something from his earlier days. Like, if you find, like, an Everton shirt with 18 on the back.
I feel like a Berbatov United shirt is a lot more...
Yeah, well, it's rare. He wasn't there for as long.
Than a Rooney shirt. Or even, to me, I would love an Alan Smith Man United shirt, even though he was not an iconic player, apart from some of the moments that he's had. But I feel like that, to me, would be a lot more...
Yeah.
Even a Wes Brown,
something like that would be, a little bit more... I think it's a bit more obscure. Yeah, look, it might be cool. Fun fact with actually Alan Smith... Obviously came to United but as like a striker winger type of player.
Yeah.
Busted his leg. And then got converted into a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like how an injury can basically change a player's game.
That's the thing. Like even some of my favorite players over time, like Owen Hargreaves.
Yeah.
I think he could have been one of the most talented English players, but injuries just set him back. And still, I think he was born in North America. Germany, went to Canada,
oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Correct.
and then went back to England. Like he's had one of the most iconic sort of
upbringings. It's
but then again, I think when you get name sets in the back, it's your connection to a player.
Oh yeah, of course,
of course. Like how you perceive that that shirt and that player.
Yeah, it might be just like a role model or someone you want, someone you try to play like, or someone you just really like watching.
If I was to say Sampdoria player, what player's name would you like on the back?
Mancini. Especially now, right now, a Mancini shirt would be, I think, iconic. Even when him and Vialli were there together, that time would be.
As coaches too.
Yeah.
So I would love a Pandev shirt into Milan, any Pandev shirt, but it's so hard to find now.
And it's funny because they're not that old.
That's what I mean. Like that's the hardest part now. Like I can't find any. There's heaps of him at Genoa. There's heaps of him at Napoli.
Yeah.
But I can't find anything of him at Inter, and it's really doing my head in. Like another player I would love to get a shirt of from Inter would be Schneider, and even that's fucking hard to find.
That era, like Schneider, Milito, Eto'o, it's really hard to find those kits. But
what's that other player with the rat tail? Was it Cambiasso?
Palacio.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rat tail. That was so disgusting.
Yeah, okay, cut. But hey, at the end of the day, they won Champions League that year. And I think, man, that shirt is just worth so much more purely because they won the Champions League.
Modern Chelsea player with the name set?
Recent, like current?
Current now.
Mason Mount. No question.
Yeah, for me, I'd actually get McTominay.
Yeah, great player. Amazing, right? Yeah.
He could be the next Michael Carrick type of thing.
Yeah.
Centre midfielder.
Yeah.
If you were a Real Madrid or Barcelona fan right now, what player name set would you get?
Oh, tough one.
Because I hate both teams. I'm more of a
Marcelo for sure.
Yeah, see, I'm a Valencia boy, but I really don't mind Memphis Depay as a footballer, and I would love to get a dry fit version of
that would be
this
cool.
year's kit with Depay on the back.
If he's successful over the next few years, I know he's still young, which is great because it gives him time. If he's successful, I know the club's sort of in a bit of a rebuilding phase. I think it will be one of those more iconic designs.
Look, Dembele went to to Barcelona, and he's had a shit career time there.
Yeah, it is hard. I know he
Injuries
got injured in like his third game for them or something.
Like
So
he's had a terrible time there, you know.
Yeah.
So I really, I'm not looking forward to it. But anyways, anything you want to ask before we end, and anything you want to say before we end this episode?
oh look, you know there's so many kids here. We've gone through about a quarter of what
Just
of what's going to be. I'm going to be trickle feeding them online, so you know I might do a few kits each day. So make sure you keep an eye out, and if you have any questions or you know want to know what's coming, maybe shoot me a message, and I might be able to give you a sneak peek.
As always, there will be episodes coming out next couple of weeks. I'm so sorry for any delays in some of the episodes. So, like, I think as of today, it's a 6-day period I have not uploaded. But, yeah, we look forward to making more content now that I've got more time. Pretty busy with the Euros, little to no sleep. But as always, check out PFC for all your shirts. If you have any questions, Paul's always there to answer them. Sign off. Please stay safe, stay away from stupid people, and yeah, drink heaps of water. Aqua, not Coca-Cola. And Paul?
Yeah, thanks guys. I really appreciate you watching.
Ciao.
Bye.